This is everything you need to know when visiting a Japanese hot spring, or onsen as they're called, and then finishing with the best locations to experience some of the country's finest. So on arrival, onsens are almost always separated by gender. Although sometimes colour-coded, red for women, blue for men, and often with English present, it is still useful to know the kanji characters, not just for onsens, but also for restrooms. These are the most common characters that you'll see, and I always remember it as a woman crossing her legs and a man with a fat belly. Once through here, there's usually a space for you to immediately remove and store your shoes, possibly swapping them for slippers. Once inside the changing rooms, you'll either leave your belongings in a closed locker or an open basket. Lockers with keys are available the majority of the time, but it isn't unheard of for public onsens to offer open baskets only, especially with hotels. So if this is an issue for you, either leave your valuables in your room or check the facilities beforehand. And top tip, bring some 100 yen coins as they may be coin operated. Although not essential, some waters can tarnish metals, so just to be safe, I'd recommend removing anything of importance to you. And make sure to tie your hair up if it's long, since it shouldn't touch the onsen waters. Onsens should be enjoyed fully naked. Swim shorts and other garments are not allowed in most hot springs under any circumstance. It's natural to feel uncomfortable if this is something you're not used to, but most people soon realize everyone is more concerned with their own selves, and you'll likely settle in quicker than you think. It should also be mentioned that tattoos are still not allowed in most public onsens. If this or the nudity aspect is an issue for you, I'll discuss some alternative options later in the video. The only two things you usually need at an onsen are 1. A large towel used to dry yourself, and 2. A small hand towel. This small towel is primarily used to wash yourself, but can be used to cover your privates as you walk around, so that's nice. If your onsen is part of your hotel, these will usually be provided for you, with public onsens typically having a rental option. I found searching for the word towel on Google Map reviews is an easy trick to find out, but it is also perfectly okay if you bring your own. After getting undressed and leaving your belongings, the only thing you can take into the onsen is the small hand towel, leaving the large towel behind. The second most important part of visiting an onsen is now, cleaning yourself. The idea is that everyone entering the hot spring should already be fully clean so that the water stays fresh for each person after. You'll often have these stools to sit on, and it's a good practice to rinse your chosen one before sitting down. Wash yourself using the soaps and shampoo as you would normally using the small hand towel. When you're clean, fully rinse yourself so that all soap suds are gone along with the seat, and head over to the baths themselves. Just to note, all of these tips and best onsen resorts that I'll cover later are linked in the description below or via the QR code on screen as a free-to-use PDF guide. Depending on where you visit, there could be just one bath or multiple, typically ranging from 38 to 44 degrees Celsius. If you aren't used to hot bathing, start low and work your way upwards, but generally I find 40 is my preferred temperature. You may also have access to a cold bath as well as external open air hot springs, so it's always best to look out for doorways leading outside as it isn't always immediately obvious. Personally, my favourite baths are always outside since the fresh air helps to regulate your temperature and makes it easier to enjoy, so try those first if you're new. When you step into the onsen, sit down within the water, not on the edge, keeping the mini towel out of the water since it's dirty. This is why you might have seen people place it on their heads, but it can also be placed to the side, which is fine also. Again, make sure you keep your hair out of the water, and talking should be kept to a quiet minimum, if at all. Now the best part. Just relax, close your eyes, and let the hot water do its magic. If you're new to hot springs, 10 minutes should be enough to start with, but people can stay around 20 minutes or so, depending on the temperature. Don't try to just gut it out though, as the heat can be dangerous if you go beyond your limits. After you've finished, just pat yourself down with the mini towel so that you don't drip all over the changing room. It's suggested not to rinse yourself with a shower at this point, since this will remove any of the minerals you've gained from the onsen. Back in the changing rooms, you can use the large towel now to dry yourself, and is always recommended to rehydrate afterwards. In terms of onsen locations, the best are usually scattered around the countryside, in the mountains and away from the big cities. But if time doesn't allow for a detour, I wanted to highlight a solution and discount for Japan attractions through the partner of this section of the video, Klook. Once you've downloaded the app, it's easy to search for foreigner-friendly onsen, such as this open-air bath in Kyoto or this rooftop view in Tokyo. We've used Klook a bunch of times in the past and found it especially useful when in Japan. Both our one-day trip around Okinawa Island and Tokyo Disney ticket were both booked privately last year using Klook. Payments are handled securely with Google or Apple Pay, and your tickets are stored right within the app, so works great as one digital wallet for all your tickets. Right now, running until the 5th of April, there's a 50% off sale for Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea, and you can get an additional 10% off using code SuitcaseMonkey. If you are watching this video later though, that SuitcaseMonkey code should still continue indefinitely. Again, I've linked a bunch of suggested attractions along with our favourite hot spring hotels in the description below, or via the QR code on screen. As briefly touched upon earlier, tattoos are generally not allowed in onsens, and this is due to their association with organised crime groups. Some onsens do allow you to cover them up, but with some caveats, so it's always best to double check the specific rules beforehand. You can just simply search online for tattoo-friendly onsens, they do exist, but my general go-to suggestion is just to look into booking a private onsen instead. These can be located alongside public baths, but I'd recommend looking for accommodation that offers a private onsen right on site. When coupled with your hotel room, these can sometimes be free, but when priced as extra, usually come out to no more than $15 to $25 US. During our time in Gifu, for example, we booked this private onsen and had the whole place to ourselves for 45 minutes, which is more than enough time. And if you really want to treat yourselves, look for a stay with private onsens as part of your room. This can really push up the price, but is obviously a very special experience. Here in Minakami, for example, our balcony onsen looked over a beautiful winter wonderland, and our room in Hakone even had a view of Mount Fuji right from our own hot spring. But if you really want the ultimate onsen experience, I'd heavily recommend looking at onsen towns. Totaling around 3,000 across Japan, these are entire communities built around natural hot springs, so I wanted to leave you with some onsen inspiration. Our first experience of such a thing was Shibu Onsen, a small traditional town with a unique process to gain entry to its 5 different onsens. 8 of them are locked behind the town's master key, so the only way to gain access is either be a resident here or stay in local accommodation, granting you a copy of the key. The onsens were generally very basic, but with half the town walking around in the traditional yukata, it made for a memorable afternoon. They even give you this cloth to stamp each of the 9 onsens off as you go, making for a nice keepsake. Shibu Onsen is also a short journey away from the famous monkey park. Here, the tables are turned and you actually get to watch snow monkeys hanging out in their natural habitat, only this time it's them enjoying the water. A second and perhaps slightly more convenient stopover was Gero Onsen, a peaceful mountain town favoured by locals. Situated on the way to the popular destination of Takayama, coming from Kyoto, this is where we booked the private hotel onsen that I mentioned earlier. We mostly enjoyed Gero Onsen for its numerous free foot spas dotted around the neighbourhood, which again were fun to hunt down, culminating in its most central one by the river. If you're on the way to Takayama, it really does make for a nice easy stop, and both Shibu Onsen and Gero Onsen are covered in more detail on our 2 14-day itinerary vlogs, which I'll link below. But definitely our new favourite onsen town is Kusatsu Onsen. Now, for transparency, I will say that we were invited here by the local tourism board, but this is all just my own thoughts. They don't even know that I'm making this video. But the headline is, we absolutely loved Kusatsu Onsen. We only had a day there due to the filming itinerary, but we could have quite happily spent 2 or 3 nights here. The town itself is gorgeous to walk around, especially at night. It's really well catered to tourists, has a ski resort a short walk away, and with loads of free foot baths to stop by. And a first for us, they also had this free to use face steamer, which considering we visited in January was very much appreciated. The waters in the Gunma prefecture and Kusatsu Onsen in particular are considered some of the best the country has to offer, and all the ryokans we stayed in were all centered around hot springs. The most impressive and unique being here in Minakami, a mountain resort that offered multiple open-air hot springs. Only about 2.5 hours from Tokyo door to door with one direct train and then a hotel pickup service. But what made this really unique is that it is a mixed onsen, which is relatively rare in Japan, especially of this quality. We were provided with these clothes to cover ourselves up, and it really ticked a bunch of unique boxes that was perfect for couples. I've done a whole video dedicated to this resort and Gunma and Kasatsu Onsen, so check that out if you want loads more inspiration on visiting. I'll link that PDF guide with links in the description, along with our full Japan playlist guide. Thanks for getting this far, and as ever, thanks for watching. Suitcase Monkey.